Hi, welcome to this second episode of the Cashscript tutorial series. Today we're going to complete the example contract. So last time we already took a look at the first spending function called transfer. After one invalid transaction, we succeeded in broadcasting a valid testnet transaction. And today we're going to invoke the timeout function, so the second spending function. First we need to create a contract by providing the three arguments, a pub key for the sender, pub key for the recipient, and an integer, so just a number for the timeout. So this is to be a block height. The current block height on testnet is about 1,400,000. So we can already fill this in, 1,400,000. And then we'll change the view to copy paste two public keys. We'll call the first wallet sender, call the second wallet recipient, and then we'll copy the public key and paste it in here. And then for the recipient we will do the same, copy, paste, and then we'll create a contract. Indeed, this contract is already funded by me with 10,000 testnet satoshis. This contract is bigger in size, almost 100 bytes, and it is 19 opcodes big. So now we see two contract functions, transfer, which we used last time, and timeout. We'll take a closer look at the timeout function on the left hand side. So timeout also has one argument, a signature called sendercig, and the function has two require statements. First is a signature check, which checks that the sendercig, so the signature, relates to the public key, so that it's a valid signature, and the sender has the private key related to the public key. And then the second required statement requires that the hard-coded timeout contract parameter is smaller or equal to transaction.time. So transaction.time is a special value the transaction has access to, and it is the block height in which the transaction is included. So the transaction can only be included after the block height we provided. So for us this is after block height 1,400,000. On mainnet this would be a totally different number because blocks on testnet are way faster and way more irregular. So I think mainnet is only at block 700,000. So keep that in mind when testing with block heights. So we don't have to provide the block height as an argument in the timeout function. This is because the transaction itself has access to that variable. The only thing we have to fill in is the signature, the sendercig. So at the drop-down menu we can select either the sender or recipient wallet to sign the transaction with. So we have to select the sender. So this is the valid signature for the first public key, the sender public key. And then we can provide any output we want. So we will create a new wallet for a new testnet address to send funds to. We'll send 9,700 satoshis and we'll press send. And let's see if our transaction is valid and gets broadcasted on testnet. Indeed, this is a valid transaction. So this means the block height 1,400,000 has already passed. We can try this again with another value. I also funded the contract for the value 1,500,000. This also has a value of 10,000 satoshis. But this is how you would actually use this smart contract. So you would set a timeout which is in the future, and then you can send someone money. But if that person does not use that Bitcoin Cash, or might have lost his private keys or something, then you can revoke the Bitcoin Cash, or then you are after the timeout you can spend the funds. So let's try this again, 9,700 to the same Bitcoin Cash testnet address. This signature we can leave this the same, still sender, and then we press send, and let's see what it says now. After 1 second waiting, we should get a notification. It says transaction failed with reason. The transaction was rejected by the network rules because non-mandatory script verify flag. Lock time requirement not satisfied. And indeed, this is what we would expect because our lock time requirement, this second require statement, is not valid because the block height has not yet passed 1,500,000. So we can only spend these funds, these 10,000 satoshis, if we wait enough blocks into the future once this time has passed. So that's everything for this second episode. Thank you for checking it out and hope to see you on the third one. Ciao!